All right, thank you so very much. Can you clap for yourself? That was for me, but you can do another one for yourself. Can you just rise up a bit? I want to assume that some of us will be standing all day. Can you just stand up for a little while? Stand up for a little while. My. I want you to close your eye and put your right hand on your chest. Let's do some affirmation this morning. This is, yesterday was Easter, the resurrection morning. This event is so, this event is very, very strategic. You know, when they slayed Jesus and made him go through all the pain and penury, they eventually got him to a place where they had to put a big stone at the entrance of the place where he was laid. And a word came to Pilate. Some priests came together and said, this Jesus, we can't trust him. They could come together and steal his body and made us believe that he was, he had ascended just like he had said before. So they got a stone and mounted it at the entrance. And they got soldiers, heavily armed soldiers, armed to the teeth. And they mounted the entrance of the place where he was laid. But something happens. Ask me what happened. In the night, that Holy Spirit, some call it Holy Ghost, but we understand that this is the man behind the creation. So when he came, all the men that mounted the place, they all fell down flat. They didn't know what hit them. As a gentleman as he was, and he rolled the stone away. Say to somebody, the stone has been rolled away. You see, I'm going to be speaking to a lot of you here. May not be everybody, maybe just about 7 people. You've been under intense pressure. All right? You've been under intense pressure. You can't figure out what next step you need to take. You are the reason why I came. Whatever that stone has been, whatever that thing has been that has been an encumbrance, that has limited you from moving to your next phase, that stone is about to be rolled away. Yeah, it's going to be rolled away. It could be a stone of lack of knowledge or something. Maybe the person who was meant to network you or connect you to your palace. To your palace. When we're having morning devotion this morning, I ask that we pray that God should connect us to our palace. One of the most dangerous thing and frustrating thing that anybody can go through is to be so gifted and yet so broke. To be so endowed with profound giftings, but yet you are forgotten. It's a terrible thing. So you now close your eye, put your hand on your chest and say this with me. Say, I'm about to be networked and connected to my palace. This is my time and my season. Never will I be forgotten. For my light will shine brightly like never before. All right, you may be seated. Give yourself a big hand. Give yourself a big hand. You deserve it. All right, so I want to first of all appreciate GMF for doing this. I'm super impressed with what I'm seeing here. Let's appreciate him. While some people are chilling out and dragging with chicken someplace, you have decided to do something very ingenious. You have decided that you will impact lives. Yesterday I was having a conversation with someone, and we were basically looking at what is this life about? Our aspirations. Someone somewhere is saving up money to buy a good car. Some other person want to do real estate. Some other person have a burden for the family. Then someone else is thinking of how to make significant impact in the life of other people. We can't all be in the same class. We are different. Our burdens are different. While you are saving up to buy the best jeans and chill with, just do all those superficial stuff. Some of us want to truly make impact in this world. We live in a country today where a lot of people are so edgy because of the situation in the country. So much is going on. See, I'm not going to even pretend we have a situation. Most young people, have you seen I got the statistics, I got involved with communicating with some people in authority recently, and we're looking at the number of people that travel outside of this country. And unfortunately, even people, the number that travel by road, they have to travel to Libya, and, and how that some of them have had to die in the process. So much is going on. Banditry, kidnapping. I wanted to travel few weeks ago for an engagement in Benin, and my family have to beg me not to go by road. I said, has he gotten to this? I'm driving myself. They said, no. All right. This morning, I want to talk to you about something that I believe will make a difference in your life. I want to talk to you about the beauty of pressure. The beauty of what? Not pleasure. Do you know the difference? I know, because you are smart and intelligent. I'll be talking to those of you that are in a place of obscurity. Those of you that are so endowed with gifts. Those of you that are so talented. But somehow or another, you can't seem to navigate your way through the pathways. It's as though everything is gloom and doom. How do I come out? What do I do? What is the future in this country? Some of my friends that used to do conference in this country, a lot of them they've left me, and they are looking at me all funny. How can this country be nosediving and you still have the guts to tell us that things can be better? Somehow we have become merchants of hope. That's who we are now. We have to have the courage to look at you in the face and tell you this is not how the story will end. That before it gets better, oftentimes it gets worse. So this nation is at the brink of a rebirth. All right? Rebirth. Something is going to happen. How do a grown-up, taxable adult get lobbied to vote against his conscience because of 500 naira? You can just about tell that this is not the candidate, but somewhere along the line you are caught in between. And because of what you can eat, because of survivor. See, make no mistake about it. Survivor is a need. Survivor is a need. Have you seen a man who is on the verge of drowning? Then you try to rescue the man. He said he was fed up. He was suicidal, but somehow he threw himself on Third Mainland Bridge, and people came together. They called the paramedics and a whole lot of people, on a rescue mission. Then they got to the man. While he was, if somebody wanted to die, the person should just die, right? I mean, he's already in the water. Just, simmer down and die. But this guy was grappling with water. And the first thing he had, the first thing that looked like solid, that he could grab was the hand of someone. And guess what? He held the man so tight, and they were both now going to drown. But for the father, the man was a professional swimmer. What does that tell you? This man really didn't want to die. It's just that life has pushed him to the edge where he thought he needed to die. The reality, the ugly reality of most Nigerian youth today. And if you think going to school was the way out, getting a good degree was the way out, you must be kidding. I've seen some suicidal, broke, devastated, discombobulated graduates. They went to school. They can read. They're so learned. But they are stuck. They can't seem to navigate their way out. There has to be something more than the educational system that we have that train people to become subservient to the system. You have to get a job to survive. Listen, Jesus didn't go through all that he went through to make you a survivor. You are more than a survivor. You're supposed to strive, not to survive. If all you'll be doing is trying to survive I'm here to call you out of that mode. You are not here to survive. Listen, I have a thing against survivor and survivalists. They can't think out of the box. It's always, what are we eat? How do we survive? So they are bossed in this place where they can't think thoughts of liberation or how they can make impact in the world. In every class, there are always two people. In every class, two set of people. The one who is studying, born in the candle midnight so that he can come out and get a job. But the other guy is studying to expand his mind so that he can buy up the companies when he comes out. You see, when we were in school, we had friends that told us that if I graduate, I'm going to leave. They were trying to paint a picture to us that when they come out, they will live in some very beautiful houses somewhere in Banana Island, and we'll be laughing at them and think they were nuts or something. They tell us, you know what, this is the kind of car we drive way back many years ago, but they were telling us they would drive the latest car, and they were just painting all this picture in school, and we'll be laughing at them. We didn't know that they were painting a picture of their desirable future. Because any future you cannot picture is not real. You see, but what circumstances have made us do is to lock us in our depravity so that we can't think of a future that is desirable. Am I talking to myself alone by myself or what? Are you following me? So you are in pressure right now, it's okay. You're on the edge right now, it's fine. Yesterday I was driving with my family. We just wanted to stroll because they have taken light. We didn't want to put on the gen. The noise everywhere is noisy. So we're driving. Then we drove past the place where we were just about 5 years ago. And I said to my son, 5 years ago, the landlady and their children will come at us. They'll be making jest of us. They will stay by the window and be laughing and making mockery because we couldn't pay house rent. They'll say all manner of stuff. And we're inside. They own the house, of course. They will remove the wire because the light bills have not been paid. They will come out the window and they will see them. Poor people. They can't pay house rent. Yet they will dress good and look as if they have money. Listen, don't let where you are make you dress like where you are. Okay, we'll get to some place. Just follow me. So, they'll make all these things and do all these things, but I keep getting them angry because the next morning I will still dress like someone who knew where he was going. Try to get some cologne and put my hairs up. I refuse to allow them let me, bow down my head in shame or whatever. No, I knew it was a temporary. Say to somebody close to you, this is a temporary phase. I've been there, done that, and I have a t-shirt. That's why you should listen to me. I've been in Hell's Kitchen. I have had to sell my wedding ring to feed on Christmas Day. So I'm not trying to make you feel, this is not one of those people that, I'm not trying to motivate you. I just want to have a conversation with you. I've had to sell my car one time. Sold everything. The only thing I couldn't sell was myself. I sold the generator, the freezer, everything in the house sold. Because we needed to survive. So I'm telling you that being in that survivor, you pride yourself over how you're able to survive. But God said, no. You've been there long enough. See, it reminds me of a story in the Bible. God had told these people to move around a certain mountain. Deuteronomy chapter 2. And they move around the same mountain year after year. And all of a sudden, God came to these people and said, hey, enough! You've been here long enough. It's time to move. Say to somebody, it's time to move. It's time to move. It's time to move. Number one thing you have to do, say to somebody, take responsibility. You see, I was blaming my reality, how things have turned out, on people. Oh, if my dad didn't die when he died. I was 17 years old. He promised he was going to see me through school. Now, all of a sudden, he's gone. Oh, if this didn't happen, if I didn't resign from Vanguard, 2011, I resigned from Vanguard newspaper. I was heading a unit. Nobody sacked me. This motivational speaker, they've talked me to a place of, my head was swollen. I said I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So they talked me to a place where I wrote my resignation by myself. I was doing well. I had cars and everything going, but I wanted to be like Dangote. And I gave it to my friend, Victor Gotobe. So if you know him, and I resigned. So all the gratuity, I worked there for 10 years. So just imagine how much that gratuity will be for a company where they pay gratuity. That was some good money, some good figures. So I took the money, I invested in an air freight, logistic company. I started it, Carry's Logistics Errand, and I registered with Dana Airline as sub-agent. 8 months, just 8 months after all of that, Dana Airline came crashing down. What? I had put all my eggs in one basket because I believe in that concept. I believe if I put all my eggs in one basket and watch it diligently, it could morph into something I can be proud of. That was what I did. But now, the whole egg's broken. My goodness. I had to go back to looking for job. Looking for job from one place. I was surviving. Things were harsh and hard. But it got to a point I said, I'm tired. What change? Listen, nothing have to change but your mind. You think if circumstances change, your mind will change? No. The change that need to take place, the change that need to happen has to begin in your mind. So I started looking for people that look like my future. I needed to fraternize with my future. Because the challenge with a lot of people is that you're hanging out, you're spending time with your yesterday. What you're doing is that you are reinventing the cycle. You need to break that cycle. And deliberately make effort to hang out with people that look like where you're going. Even if you have to beg them just to spend some few minutes to eat with them, just to hang out with them, spend some time with them. Then I began to meet people because I had prayed and I was fed up. God began to order my step to meet some very, very prominent people. So I met Dr. Ubon King of blessed memory now. I told him my story. And he said something to me that got me angry. And he said, free food is a problem with a lot of people. That when you give people free food, you stop them from thinking. Now, I didn't like that because I needed food. I'm broke. I want to eat. Just give me something to what? Eat. And he said to me, I will take you to places you will see good food, but you will not eat it. In my mind, I said, this man has got to be wicked. How do you show me nice food, good food, but yet I can't eat? I didn't know what he meant. And I'll tell you. Follow me. So, consciously, he would take me to some places. I remember how that he had to book a private jet and said, I want you to go and bring Jerry Rollins from Ghana. It's going to be 3 of us, me, you, and Jerry Rollins, private jet. And though a few days to the day, the man couldn't make it because he was sick. But this was what he wanted to do. He wanted to expose me to the good things of life. Because the challenge with a lot of people is that they live in a place where all they see is yellow buses. I have problem with you if all you see is that we're going in the morning. I have problem with you. I have problem with you if all you do is hang out with the people with rugged, concept and mentality, and all they are doing is just trying to survive. That's where you have people that live in a crapology setting. Crap. You know crap? Those things, crap. You know crap? Crapology is a concept. The thing with crapology is that nobody wants to get out. When you make effort to get out, they pull you down because they say, no, what are you trying to prove? We all belong here. You can't leave us here. We die. That's why you hear we die here. And so anytime you hear we die here, you need to understand the spirit behind it. And And you should run away from folks that uses those terminologies. You don't jump on every train and bandwagon, and there's a spirit behind them. Not me and you, we can't die here, man. I've got a better life ahead of me. We can't die in this one room and slap you and face me and all this kind of people have to line up and queue up. See, some of you are angry right now because you want to move. Some other people are saying, what is he even saying? See, the reason a lot of people have been stuck for a long time is because they find reason to remain stuck in where they are. And if you are that, I didn't come for you. I have no business, but I want to talk to people who are in that place, but they want to get angry enough to move. Now, the whole thing have started. We'll be in a place in a meeting, and you just say, Mark, let's go and eat. And we'll go to this place, 5-star restaurants. They will set the table. We'll eat some nice meal. He doesn't even eat so much. So when you are poor, you want to devour everything, right? But you see, when you got this thing, you see the food, you just take some stuff and you're cool. And so they brought this thing, they set the table, everywhere was looking so nice. My eye was going to the price list. I wanted to know how much does it cost so that maybe sometime I can sneak into this place by myself alone and have fun too. So on that particular day, when the guy was bringing the bill, I have 5 more minutes left. I haven't even started. Anyway, I'm with you. I'll rush it. So now they brought the food. I checked. My own food was 49,000. His own food was 49,000. He's not the type of person that will eat on the right menu from the, make order from the right and ask you to order from the left. You understand what that means? So you both have to order from the same, menu. So everything was 49. I got angry. I started calculating in my mind. Just with 1,000 or 700, I can go to Mama Put across the road. What kind of waste is this? And because he saw my face, he saw my countenance, I was supposed to be smiling, but I'm acting all funny. He said, what is the problem? I said, sir, is this money not too much? So he laughed and he said, this is why I said to you, I need to expose you to the good things of life. So the next thing that happened was on my 10-year wedding anniversary, he just called me in the afternoon and said, Mark, where are you? I said, I'm at home. I said, now I want you to go pack your bags, pack your things. I want to send you to a co-signature. 120,000 per night. So I want you to go to that place and just have fun, stay with your wife. Everything has been paid for. But meanwhile, I'll be there to wait for you. So we pack our bags, my wife, we went there, and we met him. He and the wife, they welcomed, embraced us, and they took us to the lobby. Do you know a hotel, right? The high rise. We went there, we had fun, met some friends. Everybody was celebrating me. I was feeling cool, took pictures. Then the night, and the wife, they saw us off to the room, and there was cake, wine, everything. The room was so garnished, everything looking so on point. Then, and he said to me, everything you need is paid for. Just order, use the intercom, everything. And he said, if you don't make order, I will still be paying just about the same money. So have fun. I didn't like it, but I wanted the money, But I'm telling you how my mindset changed. I'm trying to, how my mindset changed. So now, the next morning, we have to use the intercom, as he said, we called for food. And they brought big train, one for me, one for my wife. We sat across the table, and before we eat, I needed to find out the cost again. My mind is always going to the cost. So I called the guy before he left. I said, how much is this? He said, my own is 36,700. My wife's own is the same thing. I said, come, I don't want it. I want the money. So the guy turned and looked at me. Those people, they can be very amusing. He said, it's your first time, Abi? I said, yes. He said, I understand, but it has been paid for. My mind went again to Mama Put. Because I started calculating the number of Omo and Shaki, and, that 1,005 could just afford, and I will still have change. And I calculated my light bill in a month. And how that 30,000 could sort some very pressing needs. But my wife was laughing at me. That was the funniest thing. She was laughing. And she said, I will never forget. She said, poverty is not good. Since that day, I got angry. I said to myself, this has got to change. This has got to change. So I dress myself up. I go to a good place and I eat. I will eat. I said I will not buy bend and select again. There's nothing wrong if you are there. But I got angry because that was a survivor mode. I go to the boutique. I see the price tag. I take it. I put it on. I look at myself in the mirror. I said, I deserve it. So if you don't get angry, how many minutes, by the way, did you people give me? I want to know. How many minutes did you give me to talk here? 10 minutes? No, I want GMF. How many minutes? Can I beg for just 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes. Florence. Praise the Lord. All right. So are you getting anything out of that? So I'm going to leave you with this. If you've not been written anything, I want to just in the course as I run through this, write down few things. Because the next time I see you, you are not going to be like this anymore. Yeah. So let's talk about David. David was in the forest. He had siblings, but the siblings were all in the house. Imagine the scenario. Paint the picture in your mind. So David was isolated in the forest. Supposedly, that's a position of disadvantage, right? While everybody was chilling and hanging out and eating some nice meat in the house, David was incarcerated somewhere in the forest. And guess what he was doing? He was busy fraternizing with the sheep, giving them food and just playing with them. But what David didn't know is that God was preparing him for what he has prepared for him. Because until you can slay your lion, you cannot be qualified to knock down your Goliath. So life may have put you in a place right now where it seems as though the pressure is so intense. If I were you, I will smile through it instead of frowning through it, because this is not how your story will end. So David, he was there. So one day he came to the field where everybody was looking also dull, and he asked them what is going on. And they said to him, there's one loud man Goliath out there threatening the whole nation. And the king was immobilized, couldn't do anything. So David asked them, what will be given to the man that knocked down this Goliath? Oh, the king said he loved women. And so that was a bait. They told him that the king, one, will give the daughter to the person, to marry. And other things, other strings attached. And David said, we can do business. And you know the story. The rest is history. He brought down Goliath. Why? Because he was trained. So what was adversity? What was pressure? Was actually preparing David. Because listen, until you are in a place of isolation, God can never give you revelation. Some of you need to be alone. You are in the crowd and the crowd is useless. The crowd is useless, not doing you no good. So you need to isolate. Do something to your mind. Do something to your mind. Because your mind can take you there. Your mind can take you there. Your mind will take you there. But you have to decide to do something about the mind. So isolation is a blessing. Write that down. You don't have to write any other thing in addendum. Just write that down. Isolation is a blessing. Just like I will say to you before I leave your way now, that obscurity is a gift. If you get too exposed and yet not prepared, you'll be destroyed. So what God will do is to hide you. God will hide you. God hide people. You may be praying that God should expose you. God, let them remember me, and you're looking for a platform. Listen, your life is a platform. They may put you in a forest, isolated from everybody. But if you understand what I'm talking to you right now, the town will come to you. The town in the forest, they will come to you. The town will come to you. You will not have to run around. Some of you think a lot of you think that you've been overlooked. You're gifted. yet you're overlooked. No. The time is coming. Nobody will be able to ignore you anymore, even if they try. I'll round up with this story. A man went to an antique shop in United States to get gold. Expensive gold, because he wanted to present it to someone. As he walked in, just like this place, the whole place was so dry, nobody was in there. And he hey, hello, who is here? Nobody responded. Then he decided to be quiet for a moment. And when he did, he started hearing a faint noise. Some noise coming from someplace. And he decided to trace it. So he went to this dark alley, and as he moved a bit closer, the noise became louder. So he thought to himself, someone has to be there. So eventually he saw someone, and this man was bent over and was sweating, working on something. So he said to the man, please, I want to buy something. A gold, I have my money. And the man said to him, no, I can't leave what I'm doing right now. So he became a little bit curious and asked him, what is it that you're working on that is so important that you cannot leave for a moment just to attend to me? And he said to me, actually, I'm refining a gold. And at the point where this gold is right now, I can't leave it, because if I leave it, it will go bad. The man became even more curious, and he asked a very profound question. And he said to him, at what point will you know that the gold has been purely and fully refined? And the man said to him, once I start seeing my reflection, I know that the gold has been refined. Ladies and gentlemen, every single one of us, we came in as diamond and gold in the rough. And we must all go through what is called the refiner's fire. You can't dodge it. We must go through it. So when life gives you pressure, when life subjects you to pressure, don't buckle under pressure. Don't run away. Face it. Chin up, chest out, because God is refining you and preparing you for that which He has prepared for you. God bless you.